has all the leverage in this situation. And I'm not saying she flexed it, but she was comfortable enough in her position to make the decision.
The sign of a really, really good player is someone who can have an impact on the game when they don't necessarily shoot it.
In the next few minutes, you're gonna see exactly how Caitlyn Clark went from Geno Auriemma's failure prediction to a WNBA sensation. We're talking record-breaking stats, game-changing plays, and $1 million decision that's got everyone talking. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to our channel. It makes such a huge difference to us. Thank you so much. Now back to the video, but that's not all. We'll also uncover the behind-the-scenes drama, the desperate attempts to sign Clark, the shocking turnaround in Auriemma's attitude, and what this all means for the future of women's basketball. Trust me, by the end of this video, you'll see why Clark's not just changing the game, she's redefining it. Remember when Geno Auriemma said Caitlyn Clark would struggle in the WNBA? Man, those words didn't age well. Gino wasn't just skeptical, he straight up called Clark's fans delusional for thinking she'd dominate.
The delusional fan base that follows her disrespected the WNBA players.
He said she wasn't built for the physicality of the league. Can you believe that?
Kid's on the wrong team. She's got the wrong skill set to handle the physicality of that league. And she's a rookie.
Picture this, Clark stepping onto the court for her first WNBA game. The crowd's buzzing, expectations are sky high, and you can almost feel the pressure. But Clark? She's cool as ice. And what happens next? She explodes. In her debut, Clark puts up numbers that make jaws drop. We're talking 19 points, 8 assists, and 5 rebounds. That's not just good for a rookie, that's all-star level stuff, and she's doing it against seasoned pros who've been in the league for years. The reactions? Priceless! Fans are going wild on social media.
You know, she was like 3rd or 4th in the betting odds to be MVP of the WNBA. That's such a slap in the face to every WNBA player.
Commentators are scrambling to find new ways to say, wow. Even some of the veterans are like, hold up, this kid's for real. But here's the kicker, Clark doesn't slow down. Game after game, she's putting up crazy numbers. She's breaking rookie records left and right. Remember when people said she'd struggle with the physicality? Yeah, she's bowling through defenders like they're not even there. By her 10th game, Clark's already got multiple 30-point performances under her belt. She's leading her team in assists, and she's even holding her own on defense. It's like she took all that doubt, all those harsh words, and turned them into rocket fuel. And Gino? He's gone real quiet. But this story's just getting started. Clark's early performances aren't just silencing doubters, they're rewriting expectations for what a rookie can do in this league. And trust me, you're gonna want to see what happens next. Clark didn't just silence doubters, she shattered the ceiling of what we thought possible for a rookie.
The one thing they have in common is their competitiveness, you know, the way they transcend their team even.
You know how most first-year players struggle to find their footing? Well, Clark's stomping all over that idea. Her stats are so insane, they're making seasoned vets look like they're the ones fresh out of college. Let's talk about those numbers for a second. Clark's dishing out 8.4 assists per game. That's not just good, it's historic. She's right up there with the best rookie passers the WNBA has ever seen. But here's the thing, she's not just setting up her teammates, she's lighting up the scoreboard too. Remember when the Indiana Fever were the team everyone wanted to play? Yeah, those days are over. With Clark running the show, they've gone from bottom feeders to playoff contenders. It's like she walked in and said, all right, time to turn this ship around. And boy, has she ever. But you want to know what's really wild? Clark's not just playing well for a rookie, she's playing like an MVP candidate.
Starts to feel like that as well. So they're dangerous not because of what Caitlyn does, but what somebody like her.
I'm not kidding. The latest KIA MVP ladder has her sitting pretty at number 6. That's right, she's up there with WNBA royalty like Breanna Stewart. For a rookie to be in that conversation, that's unheard of. It's like Clark looked at the usual rookie expectations and said, nah, not for me. Most first-year players are happy just to get playing time, maybe put up some decent numbers, but Clark, she's out here changing the game. She's proving that top college players can step right into the pros and dominate. You know what's crazy? This is just the beginning. Clark's rewriting the playbook on what rookies can do in this league. She's not just living up to the hype, she's creating a whole new level of hype. And every game she's making people wonder, just how high can she go? But here's the thing, as mind-blowing as these numbers are, they're only part of the story. Clark's impact goes way beyond the stat sheet. She's changing how people see the entire WNBA, and trust me, you're gonna want to hear about that next. Clark isn't just playing basketball, she's changing how people see the WNBA. You thought her stats were impressive. Just wait till you see how she's transforming the entire league. We're talking sold out arenas, skyrocketing merch sales, and social media numbers that'll make your head spin. But here's the real kicker, not everyone's thrilled about Clark's meteoric rise.
Fourth in betting odds on being MVP of the WNBA. These people are so disrespectful and so unknowledgeable and so stupid.
Let's be real, the WNBA has always struggled to get the same attention as the NBA. But then Caitlyn Clark shows up and suddenly everyone's talking about women's basketball. It's like she flipped a switch or something. You know what's wild? Viewership is through the roof. People are tuning in just to watch Clark play, and it's not just on TV. Arenas are packed whenever she's on the court. But that's not even the craziest part. Clark's popularity is off the charts. Her jerseys are flying off the shelves faster than they can make them. It's like everyone wants a piece of the Clark magic. And social media, don't even get me started. Her follower count is exploding. We're talking millions of new fans hanging on her every post. You'd think everyone in the WNBA would be thrilled, right? I mean, Clark's bringing all this attention to the league, but it's not that simple. Some players and coaches are loving it. They're praising Clark left and right, saying she's exactly what the league needed. But
I love her. I think she's the best player. Forget I ever said Paige is the best player in the country. I think she's the best player of all time.
Others, they're not so sure. See, there's this worry that Clark might be getting too much attention. Some folks are saying it's not fair to the other amazing players in the league. They're worried Clark's success might overshadow everyone else. It's like, yeah, she's great for the WNBA, but at what cost? So here's where we're at. Clark's changed the game, no doubt about it. She's got people excited about women's basketball in a way we haven't seen before. But with all this hype comes some serious questions. Is the Clark effect good for everyone or just for Clark? And how's the league gonna handle having such a mega star? One thing's for sure, the WNBA is never gonna be the same. Just when you thought the Caitlyn Clark saga couldn't get any wilder, enter Geno Auriemma. The legendary coach who once doubted Clark is now calling her an incredible phenomenon.
Incredible phenomenon that very rarely happens, and it certainly changed the landscape, no question.
But here's the million-dollar question. Is Geno's praise genuine, or is there something else going on behind the scenes? Remember when Gino was all about trashing Clark's game? He said she wouldn't cut it in the WNBA. He even called her fans delusional for thinking she'd dominate. But now, he's singing a totally different tune. It's like he woke up one day and decided Clark was the best thing since sliced bread.
The sign of a really, really good player is someone who can have an impact on the game when they don't necessarily shoot it.
So what's Geno saying now? He's going on about how Clark's deep threes are changing the game. He's praising her fearless leadership. He even said she talks a lot of socks on the court, and that's what makes her good. Wait.
There isn't anything they think they can't do. You can tell, Caitlyn thinks there's not a shot that she can't make. There's not a play that she can't make.
What? Isn't this the same guy who said she'd get targeted by other players? You gotta wonder, why the sudden change of heart? Some folks think Geno's just admitting he was wrong. Others think he's trying to save face after Clark proved him so wrong. But you know what? There might be more to this story. Here's where things get really interesting. Turns out Geno's got his fingers in a new 3-on-3 basketball league called Unrivaled. And guess who they're trying to recruit? Yup, Caitlyn Clark. Suddenly, Geno's flip-flop makes a whole lot more sense, doesn't it? But here's the kicker. Clark said no to Unrivaled. She turned down over $1 million to play for them, and Geno, he was not happy. You could see the frustration all over his face when the news broke. It's like his master plan just went up in smoke.
Has all the leverage in this situation, and I'm not saying she flexed it, but she was comfortable enough in her position to make the decision.
So what's the deal? Is Geno really a Clark convert, or is he just trying to cash in on her success? Is he hoping his praise will change her mind about Unrivaled? Or is he just trying to stay relevant in a basketball world that's quickly leaving him behind? One thing's for sure, Clark's not just changing how people play basketball, she's changing how people talk about it too. Even the biggest critics are scrambling to get on her good side. But with all this drama swirling around her, you gotta wonder, what's next for Caitlyn Clark? Caitlyn Clark didn't just prove Gino wrong, she's completely changing the game. You know how people used to think about rookies in the WNBA? Clark's blown all that up. She's not just playing well, she's rewriting the whole playbook.
She has decided not to do Unrivaled, even though Aaliyah Boston's doing it, Lexi Hull is doing it, Kate Martin is doing it.
But here's the thing, it's not just about Clark anymore. Her success is bigger than one player. It's changing how people see women's basketball. More fans, more attention, more excitement. Clark's making people who never cared about the WNBA tune in and get hyped.
Rival League is picking up players and they're getting ready to make a big splash in January with this league.
So what's next for Clark? Man, the sky's the limit. Lisa Leslie, one of the all-time greats, is laughing at anyone who doubted Clark. She's adjusting to the league like she's been there for years. And you know what? This is just the beginning. Clark's sophomore season, it's gonna be even crazier. We can't wait to see what she does next. The WNBA is never gonna be the same, and that's a good thing.